Alrighty, what is up everybody and welcome back to Evospace. As always, I am Dora and today we're going to go ahead and start off with changing out one of these things. We are using a steam turbine and a steam generator. We're going to make a aluminum generator and an aluminum turbine. When I have my stuff up there fully running, this cannot keep up. This is not sufficient enough. It has a major issue of just running. So we're going to go ahead. I have the wrong thing selected. We need you to go that way. Cool. We need you to connect into you. And that should be good there. Let's see if we can turn this off. I didn't mean to turn that one on. You are producing pretty quickly here, which is good. Okay, so we'll see if we can run off of one. We shouldn't have an issue doing that right now. We don't have a whole lot of stuff running. But I went ahead and figured out how to get this thing to automate. So every 10 minutes, these bamboo trees are ready to be harvested, and then it takes about a minute or two for the entire arms and stuff to be emptied out into our chest display here, array here, not display. So what I went ahead and did, I just added in 10 delays because it takes 10 seconds for it to mine the entire row of bamboo trees here. So I have it hooked up to a clock with a 650 tick interval before it activates again. So that's how I had that. Each one is delayed by one. So we have one, and then we have two, and then 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And that works like that. I have it hooked up like this so that the tree farm is always going to be powered and always running, because once the steam goes down, our power stops working, and then we run into issues of having to manually harvest this stuff just to get everything kick-started again to run. So one of the things we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make steel, because we need steel to progress further into the ages here and to be able to do anything else really. So I went ahead and got some of the stuff we need to make stainless steel dust. We needed iron, which we have plenty of because we can just go around and mine that. We needed chrome dust, which was a bit of a pain, and nickel dust. And I think nickel dust we're getting plenty of from just breaking down the aluminum we were making, or the copper. We were getting something from the separator over there. So we have 31 ready to go, which is nice. So let me show you really quick. So the chrome dust you get from this stuff, the aluminothermic chrome dust. Okay, and to get that, you need to mix chrome oxide and aluminum dust, which aluminum dust is just the ingots grinded back down into powder. And then the chrome oxide is got from electrolyzing iron impure dust, or getting basalt and separating it. So that's the route I went, because there's a basalt biome just right over there by the trees. And I had, I think, 500 or 1,000. I don't remember. But it's still being processed. It's pretty slow. It takes like 30 seconds, 20 seconds or something to do one dust. So yeah, let's go ahead and grind this stuff up. We have 31 that we can make. So we can plop that stuff in there. We can go ahead and plop the iron in here because it takes 6 to 1 to make it. And then when this is done, we should have a ton of steel ready to go. And then we just got to, actually, how do I even cook it? So we just got to throw it in our furnace thing over there. So the first thing we're going to make with the steel when it's ready to go is these things right here, these separators. Because these are the first tier pretty much of where the industrial ones start, so they're pretty slow. They have a 0.7 speed multiplier on them. So we're going to go ahead and make the stainless steel ones of these. And then we are also going to focus in on trying to get another form of power generation here, because these ones are going to go away. The tree farm is going to stay active. We're going to just, instead of burning it, we're going to turn it into coal coke, or coke, I guess, because it's not coal coke on here. So that we can make all the steel we need. We'll just have a backlog of it. We'll also have creosote being made, which can be used as a fuel source for the fuel burning stuff, or the not the fuel burning stuff, the fuel burning furnaces that we had earlier running on our furnace array over there. But another thing we can also make is gas turbines. If we have enough steel for that, we might go ahead and make one of those, because the pumpkin array, when we get that up and running here eventually, already made a bunch of them. We have 37 plants ready to go, and I think from each plant you get 5 pumpkin pieces, and for 5 pumpkin pieces you get, let's see here, where's that? For 5 pumpkin pieces you get 1 whole thing of methane fluid, and the methane fluid, if put into a gas turbine, gives you 16 rotations, or 16 of the kinetic points. If we mix that together with oxygen, we can double it to 32, but to get to the oxygen, it's a whole process as well. We need to freeze the oxygen, which is not available to us until the stainless steel is an option for us to get going here. But then to get the oxygen frozen, we need to freeze the compressor air, and to freeze the compressor air, we need to pump air into a NAK coolant dust into a freezer. So that is not going to happen anytime soon. That is titanium when we can begin to do that stuff, and that's not something we can jump right into anytime soon here, because the stainless steel is enough of a headache to try and figure out. Another thing I went ahead and did, it's pretty obvious, I went ahead and set everything up so all of the ore goes into this chest. It gets separated, or it gets split, so it goes down 2 hammers. I have these guys here because I finally figured out how you're supposed to use them. You're just supposed to have them either before or after an item thing so that your machines are not getting clogged up. I also have my hammers running off of compressors, so I'm not eating any extra steam that doesn't need to be getting eaten by stuff. So these guys take any of the half items out of the equation, and then the ones on the end of them, let me go ahead and turn it back to daytime. The ones at the end of them also take the extra that these produce, because they make 1.5 of the item. And then those feed out into these. I think these ones are redundant. I just have them so I don't have an arm flipping back and forth. And then they feed into these guys that turn it into the other stuff. These also give you a 1.5 return, so then these on the exit keep the extra from going into the system here. These as well I think are redundant now that I'm actually looking at my setup here. So I might have to change some stuff around here. But these are also just like an arm, so they fill up and they keep just instant pumping into this stuff. These are the macerators that are turned. Ooh, it would help if I put my hand back on my mouse, huh? It's turned so the gear is on the bottom, so it's kind of flipped sideways. I did that with the screwdriver because you can't really get it to do that with the rotation while it's in your hand. And then the same thing. So these eat the half thing that they produce. We have actually 1 copper we can spit out, but I really don't want to. That then feeds out into this. This takes anything that we need to not be put through here right now. So for instance, we have the aluminum carbide dust and the aluminum dust itself, because these are the only macerators we have, and the arms will still pick them up and put them in here, even though they're not going to process them out into anything. That loops around over to that to just skip the line and either be smelted or just put into storage. What else? The reason I have the carbide ingots being broken back down into dust is because they smelt quicker in the furnace than the whole bar does. So it's an extra step to break them back down after forming them in the alloy furnace over there, but it helps with the process time a little bit. These are filled with aluminum because we have a backlog of the the basalt stuff in these guys, so we're not really moving anything at the moment. I also changed out the arms over here because they don't need filters. Once you put an item in the storage rack, you can't put anything else in there. The arms don't try to pick anything up either to put in there because it already knows that it's not going to be able to put anything in there. So that's kind of a waste of filter arms, but we can also just break them down or use them for something else in the future. And this is our plate maker and our part maker. Same little setup here. It splits it, crushes it, splits it again. So we get plates and parts coming out of there. We have this guy here for pretty much just for our wood, but we don't have any wood being cut up right now because we went through all of it. It's all in storage. And that's pretty much it. These guys are all set up kind of temporarily. I just put them on the power line that was running underground so I wouldn't have to have things spread out too much. We have a bit more aluminum ready to go. We just got to grind it up and smelt it again. And our steel is still not done. Dang it, I was hoping it was done. But we have a ton of it. Okay, sweet. So we have more than enough to do some of these things. I'm not going to be able to make a battery yet because we need sodium. And sodium is got from a bunch of stuff that I don't have at the moment. So I think I was going to go ahead and do the clay route because we can turn our ash down here. We can turn our ash into clay. I believe that was the way we could do it. We just had to... Ooh, was it not this? Oh, was it? I think we turned it into salt, and then from the salt we got salt dust, and then nope, that's how you get sodium. There was a way to get clay, and I don't remember what it was now because I did it. I looked at it earlier, and I don't remember. I'll figure it out eventually. Remember the recipe for it. The fermenter will be put wherever the farm is put. Are we holding up with steam right now? It looks like we're doing decent. We're not... This isn't freaking out. Our battery bank isn't draining. Let me go ahead and take some of the steel and start smelting it because we're not going to have anything coming through the line to be smelted down anyways anytime soon because I have everything stopped pretty much. I also have the furnaces hooked up to a filter to grab stuff because it'll grab whatever it wants to grab and try and put it in the furnace to smelt, even though it doesn't have a bar or anything like that. Also, I did not smelt down everything into bar form because like the nickel and what is this? Like the majority of these things, they don't have plates. The only thing you can make with the bars are blocks, and I don't plan on using any of the blocks or anything. Maybe for a build or something later, but most of the recipes are only for the dust. So like you mix the dust with stuff to make other stuff. So I'm leaving those alone. The only thing that isn't going to stay a dust is the, I don't have any more in here, but the brass that this thing makes. So let me go ahead and, let me go ahead and, let this steel finish up here. It's almost done. This is the last one. We're going to have a half of a steel thing left over. We can go ahead and clear that. And then once this is done, we can go ahead and just be back because I got to smelt all this stuff down before I can even do anything with it. Okay, so we have a little bit of the steel built up here. So let's go ahead and build one of these that we can make. We don't have enough for the, whatchamacallit, for two of them. And then we can go ahead and make one of these just to see if by chance these things smelt quicker with it. So let's go ahead and pick this up. Let's go ahead and we need you to go that way because your arm is going to be touching the electrical thing. Cool. And then our cabling can go in there. So it took let's see, this one's almost done, so it's going to take 10 seconds to finish. Let's see how long you take normally. You are at a 0.7 increase, so you are, come on, 52 seconds. Okay. and you have a full-on 1 times increase, and that means you take dun, da, 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 come on, and you take 35 seconds. Okay, so we need to make another one of those when we get the steel for it. Do we have some steel? We have steel in our inventory. That needs to go into there so it cooks. And then we can go ahead and change one of these out. So these take however long they take. I don't care how long they take, because we need it. Yeah, I made the wrong thing. Yeah, I made the wrong thing. Dang it. Oh, I made the wrong thing. Okay, well, I need to wait for steel to be made now. That was my bad. Could have sworn I hovered over it and it said the right thing. Nope. We need the industrial one. Dang it. Okay, well, I mean, we don't really have a need for it, but if we need to, we can go ahead and swap it out for that one. Because that's what it's, dang it. Okay, well, yeah, let me go ahead and sit here and wait for the, for the steel to smelt down again, and I'll be right back again. Okay, now, unless I click the wrong thing again, which I hope I don't, there we go, industrial separator. We should be good to go. Boop, and we should be good, I said. I need to turn the icons back on so I can see what I'm doing. We need electricity on the backside. There we go. It should be good to go in a second when this hits 5, I think. There we go. And it takes, was that 15 seconds? 13 seconds? Okay, so we're not seeing a massive increase in time delay, but it's better than the aluminum ones we were running, because these are slower than slow when you have this much basalt waiting to be processed out. So hopefully this speeds up the process here. I'm gonna go ahead and wait around a little bit more. We have a ton of steel being smelted, so we should be good to go to make a couple more things here before we wrap up. So let me go ahead and let all this stuff smelt. I'm gonna make another furnace, and I'll make this after I make the furnace so I can speed this process up a little bit. Okay, so I want to go ahead and change out this tank. It only holds 10. The aluminum ones hold 15. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to back this up just a little bit. So about there, maybe. That should be fine, I think. I also had to put down another aluminum set over there because the furnaces were starting to eat into the batteries, and it was not. Oh, I didn't want to jetpack again. It didn't. It wasn't able to keep up. So let's go ahead and do this. I want to see if it'll work. I don't know if it will. Hopefully it does. Let me get on top of the box, please. So I want you to go that way, but I need you to be. I need to put a pipe right here so I can build off of it, like so. And then we should be able to have this go that way, have it go that way. And no, we need you to go all the way around. So we need you like that, but not quite like that. What if we build it like this? So it's trying to put the front end on that end. Oh, you know what? Can I screwdriver this before I even before I get to the point where I can't put this down the way I wanted to put it down at? No, I cannot. Okay, that's a bummer. So the top of it is the input, the bottom of it is the output. If I can get over this, thank you. Okay, so input, output, cool. Now we just need you to scoot over a little bit. So we need this to come back one, and maybe that'll do it. Let's see. Like that. Not exactly where I wanted it, but it'll do for now. Just to see if it even lets us do this, or if this is the wrong type of tank to hold the steam here. Let me grab a pipe from over here, and connect it into the thing and see if it works. Like so. You holding steam? You are. So this is going to hold 256 units of steam. So if for whatever reason we ever have a failure in our tree farm, not giving us wood or not giving us enough heat to give steam, we should have at least a few minutes of backlog of steam to try and correct whatever is the issue. Cool. So we can go ahead and get back up here. I didn't want a jetpack. Let me go ahead and dump this stuff back into here. We don't need it. Where did it go? That can stay in there for now. We have a little bit of steel made up. It still is taking a minute to smelt everything down, but it's not taking as long as it was. Okay, so we went ahead and made this thing, the chemical reactor. That allows us to make titanium or tungsten. But to do that, we need to go ahead and do this step here where we need to mix chlorine and titanium and stuff. So in between there, the last clip here, I went ahead and mined a whole bunch trying to find titanium. I couldn't find it. I found a little bit of uranium. I found 1.4 of uranium, and that's it. And I've dug a ton. The only way we're getting titanium right now is by what is this? Separating our basalt that we were doing earlier. So what we need to actually go ahead and do, I have salt being made. We can go ahead and make chlorine from that and sodium. So we'll go ahead and do that later. But one thing we do need to go ahead and do is finish up this thing. I went ahead and laid this out. It's 12 by 5 pumpkin things. We should be getting about 60, I think, like 60 units of methane when it is said and done. I think every 10 minutes. Kind of iffy on that at the moment, but we're gonna go ahead and just set this in motion here because we need a better fuel source because the steam is just not cutting it anymore. So we can go ahead and do this. I need to turn on the view button thingy. So every 2 goes like this, and then we should be able to just hook everything up. I'm also hoping this works because we can't drop this down one and have the arms pick up the pumpkin. It's not like the trees where we have to drop them down one because the lasers were breaking the stuff. So hopefully this works and it doesn't break the pumpkin plot itself. But I guess we'll see here in just a moment. I'm also going to plug in compressors, or a compressor, to fuel the arm thingies here because they take compressor air, which is good for us. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. I went ahead and just cabled everything up really quickly there. So I'm going to have this feed into a storage rack because now I can take stuff out of here. So it's going to feed into here. It's going to dump all the pumpkin that it's making. This only makes whole items, so it doesn't make any point items, so I don't need any of the chest stacker thingies. And then we're going to arm that stuff out onto a splitter. We can put that away. We don't need that. Where's my splitter? Boop. And my arm. Okay. We're going to have this feed out into a splitter that's going to go this way. Sure. So we need to have this onto that, and then this needs to go like that. Right. Okay. And then we need to... Where is my fermenter? Oh, right there on the inventory already. So we need this. I think I need to have it like that. No? What if we have it on the... No. Okay, so we need to arm this stuff into these, but do I need anything coming in? No, I just need pumpkin and electricity. Okay, so let me whip together some arms here. Boop. And then you two need to go that way. And then we need the electricity on the back. Will that work? Okay, it took one. Okay, good. So then we need this one to have the electricity visible. But then that thing is there. So we can do that. That works. Okay, cool. Then we need our power cable, which we don't have any power cables. So let's go ahead and whip some of those together. And we need some of these. So let's whip another couple of those together. And we should be good there. Let's have our power cables go down and connect with each other. Like so. They'll connect down there. And then we need our fluid to connect and go through one of these stacker things, because this outputs in percentages here, or in points. So we'll have them both go this way into a tank. The top of the tank is the input, right? And the bottom's the output. So we'll put it as close as we can. And we'll have this thing. Let's have these guys meet up then. Like so. We'll have this thing on top of this. If we can get up there and put it there. Like that. Ooh, it doesn't actually connect. Can I not do this with the fluids? Fluid. I might not be able to do the stacking thing to make sure I'm only getting full output. Okay, well, that's fine. We need some more pipes, and we should be good to go. Need to craft a couple more things though, and then we should be good. So what if we go up here, and then have these guys pull into it. I need you. Okay. And then once we plug this in, it should start working. We also need some of the stainless steel stuff. So we need the gas turbine for these guys. And make sure I make the actual one that I need, not the wrong one. Gas turbine. You run off of methane, you do. Okay, cool. So we make one of you just for right now, just to give it a try. What else do we need from steel? Probably nothing at the moment, so let's not do that. Let's go ahead and take this. We need to disassemble this section here so that we don't actually have steam coming in on accident. Okay. Ooh, okay, is this bigger than that one? A little bit bigger than that one. Where's the exit bit? Okay. Oops. So we need to actually move that to be able to. Where in the heck is that thing at? There it is. So how far can we get to that way? I need you to stop spinning around so much. Okay, for right now we'll leave the steel one on here. It's my electrical output, so that should be connected. Looks like it's connected, so we need some cabling here. I'm also gonna hook up a clock on here like I did over there, just so I can have it picking up whenever they're fully grown, so we're not having one pick up every minute or whatever. This is also 2 inputted. We don't need 2 input right now because we only have methane coming in, so I'm not too worried about that. How much pipes do we have? We need a little bit more piping. And that should be good to go. Let's go here. Drag the piping out from here. Okay, and then we go down 2. And we should be good to go. Okay, so this is going to need a kickstart from our original electricity setup here. Right now, oh, you know what? I didn't plug that stuff in. Dang it. No, I forgot something. So we're gonna have these guys on their own battery power, but this guy over here needs to be on its own battery power as well, so it's always going. I'm putting down pipes where electrical cable should be. Okay, so I went ahead and plugged it into the electrical output here. This is going to start getting some methane from this stuff over here. Let me go and turn that stuff off again. And in a minute here, we should have this thing kick on. We're at 8, and we should be kicking on here shortly in just a second. And kablamo, there we go, cool. So it's on, it's cooking. We got 16, I believe, of these things. That did not seem like 16 spins of the thing, though. It did say 16, did it not? Yeah, we're supposed to get 16.2 kinetic things out of this per 1 methane fluid, but it's only giving us 1.8. What? Oh, is it over the 20 seconds? It gives us a total of 16, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Seems like it's working though. It's turning over. I will have to adjust this a little bit and get rid of some stuff and get this power. This is going to be our main power source. Hopefully, this is better than the Steam setup. Only time will tell. But I know running anything over there is just like I can't keep up with the setup I have going. So hopefully this helps. But that's going to go ahead and be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.